a deal to fund or reform the Department of Homeland Security. That all but promises a partial government shutdown. A failed Senate procedural vote sealed the deal, with lawmakers voting almost entirely along party lines, 52 to 47, well short of the 60 votes needed to advance the legislation. Republicans were projecting progress in negotiations, but party leaders still sent members home yesterday after the White House sent an offer to lawmakers for changes at DHS late Wednesday. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said the offer falls well short of Democrats' demands.
I'm in the process of reviewing the most recent so-called...
Hakeem Jeffries sucks, and he sucks really bad. I will admit that I was a little bit soft on him at first because he's black, and I like seeing black men succeed in high levels of power. But I have to admit he's doing a shitty job, and then he should pack it up and go the fuck home, right? I do like the fact that they are pushing for this partial shutdown. I think they're kind of sobering up to the fact that shutting the government down, even if it is in only small segments, is the only real traction that they have in negotiations with these fascists, right? Because if they can allocate bureaucratic ways to freeze their funding, then they can't pay the agents, and the agents aren't going to do the shit if they're not getting paid, homie. So, you know, I'm glad that they're resisting. And I fully expect the Democrats to disappoint me and fold. But, you know, let's see what he's talking about. Maybe you can change my mind about him.
From the White House, we'll take a look at it. But my preliminary assessment of it is that it falls short of the type of dramatic changes necessary in order to change ICE's out-of-control behavior and deliver immigration enforcement that actually focuses on violent felons who are here illegally.
Why are you even... I mean, like, clearly there's some kind of think tank that communicates with him that told him, like, okay, but, like, stress the fact that it's cool that he's getting rid of the violent ones. And for the record, I agree. Like, if you're a violent immigrant, then I want you to face justice for your crimes. And if you're clearly beyond reform, then I want you to get sent back to where you came from. Like, I think that's fine, but that's just ignoring the reality of how it's been working this whole time. You know what I mean? Because it's like because like even a violent immigrant doesn't deserve to have their car window busted open and being dragged out like an animal, even if they are like a violent criminal in other circumstances, right? Like, there's a dignity to being an American, or there's a dignity to just being on American soil. We don't do that shit here. That's what they told me. Like, I mean, yeah, they do that shit to black people, but man, like, the fact that it's like everyone's on the table for this shit now is just making people wake up to the reality of it. That it's like,
which is what the president promised to do, and he lied. Because taxpayer dollars are being used to brutalize and kill American citizens or violently target law-abiding immigrant families. And that's unacceptable. In our view,
See China before communism.
what?
The shutdown will have an uneven effect across DHS, though, because ICE will still be able to tap into a $75 billion fund that keeps the agency running as usual. You've heard me say it before. That's that bill.
Oh my God. Like, the Democrats' previous failure is making it so that even this victory is like short-lived. You know what I mean? U.S. Immigrants and Customs Enforcement, okay? You got the Citizenship and Immigration Services, so CBP. Then you got all these motherfuckers. So, I mean, FEMA, some of these I like, right? Like FEMA, cool. Like, people can still get their disaster relief. Secret Service, no, I'm taking it or leave it at this point, right? You know, they still have so much money. At least it's, I mean, if anything, maybe it's good to force them to spend that money, right? So they don't have more pools of money, because they're just kind of like building up a war chest, you know, for whatever big play that they, you know, because you already know that there's going to be another like January 6th style incident that's probably going to be aided by ICE, like some Order 66 and Star Wars type shit. But luckily that hasn't happened yet as of the recording of this video. So I assume that's what they're saving the money for, because they're not going to just hold it for the next Republican president when Trump leaves office. No, Trump's going to use every 75 billion to enforce his evil agenda. Like, no way he doesn't.
That's that reconciliation package they passed last summer. Customs and Border Patrol will also have a $65 billion fund that's accessible during this shutdown. What's impacted, though? TSA, FEMA, the Coast Guard, and cybersecurity and infrastructure security agencies. They all don't have that same kind of funding, and that's where the pain will be felt.
Yeah. ICE. Oh, travelers. That sucks. The Coast Guard. I mean, I like the coast being guarded, I guess. But sweet. That's awesome. Laser focused on ICE.
Want to bring in politics and policy reporter for Notice, Oriana Gonzalez, here to end a busy week on Capitol Hill with us. And this has been percolating in the background, a week of hearings and conversations about negotiating. Negotiations haven't really led us to anything. And so here we are on the verge of a partial government shutdown. Lay out the landscape for us. Where are both sides on this?
They're pretty dug in to what they're saying. The negotiations are exactly what you said, nowhere to be seen, to be quite honest. The Democrats had put earlier this week what they want to see.
She looks like this girl that I went on a date with, like when I was like 19, named Priscilla. Priscilla, if you're watching this video, hope you're doing okay, girl.
Done to rein in ICE, but Republicans were essentially not engaging with it. To that end, what we're going to see tonight is a shutdown of DHS. I do want to say something here that I feel like gets lost in the sauce here around this conversation. Yes, ICE and CBP have funding, but and yes, TSA, FEMA, etc., they will be affected. But already they were facing a lot of issues under the Trump administration. I mean, TSA has shortage problems. FEMA, for example, my colleagues Viola Gier and Anna Kramer broke.
I mean, Trump is practically dismantling FEMA and turning it to like a partisan farce, you know? So FEMA, like, you know, and then also like the mass government layoffs. Like, Trump has done so many things. He did so many things in just like the first 2 months that it's like, you know, you forget about some of the shit he did. So of course FEMA's fucked up already, you know? So this is just going to make it worse. God forbid there's another snowstorm. I mean, hopefully, you know, the weather chills out while FEMA is out of business, you know?
FEMA is sitting on, or Kristi Noem rather, is sitting on $1 billion of grants that have not been given to states that are explicitly for disaster prevention. So yes, of course, these agencies are going to be impacted by the shutdown, but these issues are already happening. So they're just going to be exacerbated by this shutdown.
I think that's actually a really important point here. And it's also part of why Democrats are saying they need to force this fight now. And I think we should underscore at the beginning of the year, because we're not that far into it, but it was clear to me in conversations with senior Democrats, there was no major appetite to do another shutdown. And then they saw what happened on the ground in Minneapolis, first with Renee Good, then with Alex Preddy. And Democrats felt, how can we not do something here? Exercise.
I mean, it sucks that that's what it came to, but I'm glad that more people didn't have to die. You know what I mean? Because when ICE was deployed on Minneapolis, like, it was just in the air. Like, ICE is gonna kill somebody. You know, ICE is gonna kill somebody. And look, they've killed people before that, but it's like, you know, the perfect victim, I guess, is what we were waiting for, right? Like somebody that was just minding their own business. ICE fucking clapped them, right? Renee Good was that perfect victim, in my opinion, right? Like, she definitely wasn't a domestic terrorist. Even if she made the mistake of like moving her vehicle while an ICE agent was near it, which is like that's like the worst thing any reasonable person can really get her on. It's like, that was unwise to try to move your vehicle while cops are surrounding you. But Alex Preddy, that's like case closed. You know what I mean? We have the full video of ICE agent walking up to him, beating his ass, taking his gun, and shooting him in the back. Like, honestly, that shit's worse than George Floyd. I mean, yeah, let's not do like the pain Olympics, right? Because George Floyd was pretty fucked up. Like, they suffocated him in front of a crowd of people. Like, that's actually really bad too. That's really like a lynching. But the Alex Preddy shit is kind of a lynching too. You know what I mean? It's like, how dare you videotape us from across the street? And then that's not even getting into the potential where they scanned his face and then they use some kind of like Minority Report shit to attack him. Like, we don't know. We never will know because they don't want to investigate it. But, you know,
few levers of power that we have. So how long do you think your sources are saying we're going to be in this? Because if the negotiations are nowhere, which it seems like they are, then how do you even reopen the government, especially when you're just talking about one agency out of all of the rest of them?
I think because of that, because it's one agency, it's unclear exactly how long it'll go. I agree. I didn't think that we would be in this situation about 3 months, since the longest shutdown in U.S. history. But
I predict it's going to be start, stop, start, stop, start, stop with the government, right? Because Trump is going to continue to do crazy, insane, illegal bullshit. The Democrats will continue to hold him up. And if the midterms go at all, like if the midterms are free and fair and the Democrats that win rightfully are given their seats and given their political power, then there's just going to be even more of it, just even more shutting down, if not full on impeachment, which is a form of shutdown. It's basically saying like we're trying to abort the executive. You know.